Coach King, the next exercise will be a back squat. Again, I will demonstrate the movement first, and then we'll have our famous athlete here, Donnie, come in, and I will explain technique, good form, flaws, even some safety on spotting, and having the safety racks at a good position, so if the athlete is to fail, spotters can't get him back up, we can roll out underneath there. Here we go, I'll be up first. Now we're going to bring Donnie in here, and then we'll go over some techniques and execution. Now I'm going to hold him here. He's a pretty strong guy, so he can hold that bar. Notice what he did do with the bar, made sure the back was underneath the bar, unrack the bar at the same time. Same goes for if you're going to rack the bar back up, which I'll show you when he's going to do it. Not right yet. But what we're looking for here, big chest. Again, our feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe slightly further. The barbell rests on our traps. Resting too high on the neck, especially for a female athlete, very uncomfortable. We want it to rest right on our traps. It's almost like a little bit of padding for us. Weight is on the heels, feet, like I said, hip width, maybe shoulder width, toes pointed slightly outward. And when he's going to sit down, Donnie's going to drive his hips back. We want to drive our hips back, keeping our chest big. Right there, getting parallel coming up. The reason we push those hips back, have an athlete leaning too far out on the toes, tries to lean forward. We do not want those knees to get over the toes. Keep our chest big, we try to engage our back, flex, push the hips backwards. That way we'll stay big, we don't want to fail at the lower back of the core. Another thing I do like to go over, now when Donnie's in a full squatted position here, he's squatted, he's sitting down. Now if he's in this position here and he has to fail, we want to make sure our safety racks are up so Donnie can roll that bar out underneath and get out of the way. That way that bar is not falling on him, and that's if our spotter fails as well, if we can't lift him back up. The last area I want to go over with the squat is bracking it back up on the bar. So Donnie's going to come underneath. Make sure we're nice in the middle. Put the bar right on the traps. It's going to come off evenly. Some big problems are always when an athlete tries to put the bar back on the rack. We do not want him to rotate this shoulder first, then this shoulder over, and place the barbell on there. Just for a back injury, pulling, overextending there. What we want him to do is come evenly into the rack, place the barbell in, and you rest the barbell down. Coach King, Emory University, that is the back squat. The last exercise will be the bench press. Coach King, last exercise, I'm going to demonstrate the bench press. I will do 3 reps on the exercise. We will bring Donnie in, have him do 3 reps, and then unrack this weight, kind of break down the exercise for you and go through everything. All right, here we go. Now we're going to bring Donnie in, get 3 reps here. Now, Coach, I'm going to put Donnie back underneath the bench here. We're going to break down everything. The first major point I want to go over, and the first major point we try to implement and get inside every athlete's head here at Northern is your 5 points of contact. My 5 points of contact being 1, 2, 2 feet, the rear end or the butt, shoulders, and the head. Those points of contact must always be on the bench when Donnie is going to perform a bench press. For grip, he's going to reach up about shoulder width, maybe slightly outside shoulder width. And then he's going to unrack the bar here. When we're coming down to the chest, we're coming to the midline of the chest or the nipple line. He's going to take in a big breath of air on the way down, build up, touch down on his chest, and as he presses up, gets exertion, he's going to let all that air out. A big thing we don't want to see, reiterating back to our 5 points of contact, and a lot of where athletes have problems, you'll see that arch in the back. Give me an arch in the back. That one. That's what we don't want to see on a bench press. We don't want to see the athlete bringing the barbell down to his chest here, and then really pushing, driving, arcing that lower back, planting the feet, and actually using the feet to drive the lower back up. We know and understand that that happens with heavier weight, but the best way we can do being coaches is reiterate the 5 points of contact and reiterate that when you're benching, a lot of things that I like to preach is when he's going to have the bar back down, when he's going to bring that bar down, and when he's going to press up, he's going to try to drive his back into the bench as he presses that bar up in the air. Coach King, that is the bench press. That concludes our 3 exercises. And then once we gather everything up, clean this up here, I'll give you a little closing statement at the end. Coach King in a closing statement, lack of time on the video there. We don't have the best video equipment, but some things that I missed, some things that I just want to make sure I cover about the clean, the back squat, the bench press. The first thing is the clean. I want to reiterate that we do many hip tilts. We do a lot of hip cleans. We will do a lot of muscle cleans to get athletes used to that motion, and then a lot of front squats within our warm-up to try to prepare them for the movement, get their body, their neuromuscular system prepared for the movements throughout the lift. Always, 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 I didn't mention, but we always have collars on each end of the barbell. Make sure that weight doesn't flip off the side. And another 2 things that I want to explain to you is obviously keeping that barbell from start to finish as tight to the body in trajectory as we can. Tight to the body means a faster barbell. And then finally, as I mentioned before, working on the extension and flexion of the hips, with meaning full extension, hips lead. We stay on those heels as long as possible till the toes come up, and then once the athletes catch, they catch in a fully flexed hip position with the elbows high. Moving on to the back squat, one of the things I didn't cover was spotters. A good way to have a spotter, you always want to have the spotter behind, holding up on the side of the athlete's rib cage. Also, you can put one hand here on the front of the chest, one hand on the back to lead that athlete up. Go down with the athlete coming up, or you could also put 2 other athletes or 2 coaches on the sides of the barbell as a spotter. And also want to cover on the back squat again, we always are putting collars on each end of the bar to prevent any kind of safety issues, any kind of hazard, weights falling off the bar, etc. Bench press, same thing with the collars. You don't want any weights falling off the bar, safety first. You don't want to have athletes unload one side of the bar and then the bar completely flips over. That's why we put the collars on it. Spotter on the bench press, should have been behind Donnie, keeping my hands inside of his, always ready to guide that barbell up in case of any kind of failure. Otherwise, I hope this video worked out. You should get it soon once we upload it on YouTube. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to speak with you soon.